If you like these videos, please check out my full course at www.lsat.totaltestprep.net with tons of clearly explained actual LSAT questions written by someone who's mastered test and helped others master it, and an evaluation period where you only pay if you want to continue.
All right, in this video, we're going to do the paradox question. So what is the paradox question? So, as usual, what do the paradox questions ask for? So what does it mean to resolve a paradox? Or rather, what does it mean to resolve a paradox? How do these questions appear on the test? And how do we approach these questions? Okay, so in terms of the basic information, paradox questions ask you for the answer choice which resolves a seeming contradiction. So paradox questions are essentially a variation of the weaken questions. So the questions are going to present scenarios which generate expectations and then give paradoxical realities which are contrary to that expectation. So the information in the scenario gives you a reason to have an expectation. So then you can think of that scenario plus the expectation as an argument. And the reality is going to be contrary to that expectation. It'll give you the reality as well. Now, the question will generally deal with one speaker, though there might be multiple speakers. If there are multiple speakers, then the question will tell you where to focus. And the answer choices will be additional information which can be taken to be true. So once again, truth is not an issue here, it's relevance. So in terms of the basic approach, you need to have a clear understanding of the scenario and the expectation, and then identify the choice which weakens your expectation. This is why it's a weakened variation. So the most important thing is to identify the scenario, the expectation, and the reality. Those are the three parts that are going to be in every paradox question. Think of the scenario as the premises and the expectation as the conclusion. And the expectation is not always going to be expressed explicitly. It's always the opposite of the paradoxical reality, though. So you want to look for the paradox. And the opposition indicator words are going to be used to introduce the paradox. As with the weaken, you want to evaluate the relationships in the argument. So think of it as an argument. Like I said, scenario and expectation is the argument. The reality is the opposite of what your expectation is. You're looking to weaken the expectation. So you're looking to weaken the argument. And as with the weaken, the relationships in the argument are important in terms of causality, constitutiveness, etc. So then you go through the answer choices and you're looking for the one which gives you a reason to reject the expectation. The correct choice is going to make the expectation less likely. So it's actually the same considerations as with the weakened questions in that sense. The incorrect choice is either going to make the expectation more likely or it's going to be irrelevant. So it may actually strengthen the paradox in the sense that now you have even more reason to think that your expectation should be true, or it may just do nothing. It just may be irrelevant. May not connect with what the paradox is saying at all. And once again, same considerations as with the weakened questions.